Hey everyone! I don't know if you can see us or not. It's kind of dark, but we're going to flip it around. Hey Sam! Hey, it's a little early, we know, but it is pouring down rain and we're somewhere in the mountains of North Carolina. Hey Rachel! And so we decided to just go for it because there's thunder too, but we're under some trees. Probably don't try this, not a good idea. Probably don't try this at home. So we're gonna keep this short. But just a few housekeeping things. If you follow me on Periscope, Katie_M_Reed, yes, hammock time in the rain. Then if I follow you, you can comment. So if for some reason you can't comment, it's because I'm not following you, but just let me know and I'd be happy to do that as long as you're not like a troll or a creeper or whatever. But we are having a great vacation despite the rain. We got to go to a really pretty waterfall today because the rain stopped and the sun came out. And my husband is thrilled because he loves the rain. I think we told before he'd love to live in Seattle. Can you see his thumbs up? Anyway, but we are pretty sure we have not told you guys our love story. So we're going to try to do the short and sweet version of it. But, yeah, you want to start?
Well, I guess to start off with, Katie is a couple years older than I am, and so she was in college, and I was still in high school. And my dad is a pastor, and so Katie was attending the church that my dad was associate pastoring at, and obviously I was attending. And so it, I guess we met in at church, but didn't really know each other until I got into college, and then we were attending the same campus ministry. I am a huge physical touch person, and so my physical touch hugging came across as very flirty. It wasn't intended that way on my part, I can honestly say, but it came across that way.
And he was like that with a lot of people. And I had been kind of burned by guys. I had a lot of I'd have close guy friends. Usually I liked them, they didn't like me, so I was fed up. And I said, you know, I'm not going to be friends with guys until I meet my husband. And I had a friend, one of Adam's friends, challenge me. He goes, well, how are you ever going to meet your husband if you're not going to be friends with guys? So I was very kind of, you know, anti-guy. I don't know, it sounds kind of bad. But so when Adam was all like, you know, hey, huggy, I was like, prickly. So we were kind of, do you say oil and water? I don't know.
And not just not just when I would hug on her, but other people as well. So it came across as being very flirty. But so we just butt heads. We didn't get along because we were coming from very different perspectives and things. So we greatly disliked each other when we first met.
Yeah. And so then a couple years later, he started hanging around at our apartment. And
I mostly hung around there because I worked at a golf course, and in the summer I would come home and be hot, and so I'd go home and shower, and then they had air conditioning and I didn't, and so I used them for their air conditioning.
And he hung out with my roommates. I think I still drove him crazy, but over time we became really good friends. And you know, there wasn't that interest, like the love interest. It was just we were friends. Although I remember him telling a story about all these girls he had kissed. I had kissed a lot of guys too, but he was telling me a story of these girls he had kissed, and I just remember thinking, oh, I wish I was one of the girls he'd kissed. Anyway, but so we were really good friends for a while. I remember his dad kind of mentored me somewhat, and one time he said, hey, you know, I have some sons. What do you think of, hey, Christina? He said, hey, what do you think of, I think he said Adam, and I said, oh, I'm not sure if he, you know, matches up to this list I had, because I had this list. How many of you guys did that? You know, I kissed Dane goodbye and all that stuff. So I had this list of very specific things I was looking for. And it was even down to, I want my husband to be taller than me. Oh, yeah. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Welcome. Adam's glad you are here.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm not the only guy anymore.
Oh, hey, non-superwoman. Hey, remind me of your name. I loved your scope the other day on Habakkuk. It was great, but remind me your name. So anyways, so his dad said, well, do you think, sorry.
And Trisha?
And Trisha? Are we saying that right? Give us a thumbs up if we are. Beautiful name. So anyway, so his dad said, I'm not sure anyone could measure up to your list.
Except Jesus.
Except probably Jesus. But anyway, so I was saying, I wanted my husband to be taller than me, and I even was a specific... And Tracia. Ooh, and pretty. We like that.
Yeah.
We like unique names. Thumbs up. So anyway, I was so specific. I wanted my husband to be taller than me. I said a minimum of 3 inches. Guess how much taller Adam is than me? 3 inches. Anyway, so basically his dad lovingly said, I'm not sure anyone matches up with this list. And then one day, so Em and I were like, I would say we were best friends, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So we were best friends, and I remember his brother saying to me, Katie, if you had to marry somebody right now, who would you marry? And I had to think about it for a little bit, and I'm like, I'd have to say Adam, because I know him the best. He's seen me at my worst. He's seen me with no makeup. And then all of a sudden, it's like the blinders came off, and I was like, oh, and Adam's really good looking, too. I mean, I didn't think he was ugly or anything, but all of a sudden, it was just like, hello. So you want to pick up on your part of it? You're getting hearts with it.
Yeah, my part of it, we sat down and had a talk, and I've got it.
Okay, sorry.
Thanks. We sat down and had a talk, and
yes, his name is Adam.
And she expressed her interest. No.
You had acted like you had emailed me. The email was like first invented then, by the way. And so he had like alluded to the fact he might have a crush on me. So I like cornered him and like, well, do you or don't you, right? Am I right?
Yeah, and okay. I told her that she was the type of woman that I could see myself marrying someday. Again, bad move on my part, just because at that point she was planning the wedding, and I was not committed. I had just gotten out of a bad relationship, and I had kind of vowed that to the Lord. I just said, you know what, I'm done with this dating thing, and it's just kind of a waste of time and enough heartbreak. And so I said, I don't want to date anymore until you bring along the woman that you want me to marry.
Hang on just 1 second. They were asking if this was all through email. No, just the email about the crush, which is funny because we went to the same college, but you'd email each other anyway.
Even when you're in the same computer lab.
Yeah, because it was so novel and awesome. So anyway.
So anyways, I worked at the golf course, and at that point, again, being very, very good friends, and I just started praying about Katie specifically, and just saying, hey, Lord, is there something here? Is this the person you want me to spend the rest of my life with? And it's been one of the only times that I've come close, I think, to seeing writing in the sky. And I mean, it was like flashing neon lights, just saying yes, yes, yes. And so at that point, it was just kind of, okay, well, how do we do this, and how long do we do this, and where do we want to get married, and how do we want to get married?
Yeah, and once he finally asked me out, I'll tell my backstory there, but we called it courting, for 5 months, got engaged for 5 months, and then we were married. But we knew each other really well. But here's my backstory. So once Adam and I talked, and he said, yeah, maybe, I was committed. And I semi-stalked him, because I was like there. I was committed.
It was full on.
I'm like, Christina loves the writing in the sky part.
It was seriously everything except that, I think. I mean, it was so close.
The crazy thing is, too, our parents knew each other before we were even born. I won't tell. Should I tell this? Okay, so here's something really, this is just for you committed Periscopers who are still with us. So my parents rented an apartment that was furnished, okay? and I think they got pregnant with me in this apartment. So then they moved out, and later on, Adam's parents moved in to the same furnished apartment, okay? And got pregnant with Adam, they think. So my mom one day goes, ah! She said, I think you and Adam were conceived in the same bed. And I was like, whoa. Because I didn't know the part about both of them living there or whatever. So,
no, seriously.
Yeah, so isn't that too much information?
But I think after that, we did some figuring, or the parents did some figuring and figured out that it wasn't.
Right.
Probably was not the case. But there was a little bit of a scare there.
Right. Anyways, so, yeah, so I guess that's our story. But it's funny because once we started dating or courting, what you ever want to call it, there's people that knew us when we didn't, like, kind of annoyed each other, didn't like each other, and they could not believe we were going out. They were just like, what? We would have never thought that. But we're so glad that God wrote our story the way he did. And, you know, for a while, I remember, you know, again, I kissed saying goodbye, but I took it so literally, like, our story must look like this. And I remember Adam saying, Katie, that's not our story. You know, we need to embrace what our story is, the good, the bad, and the in-between, and the weird of it. And so, anyway, I loved how we were friends first, and it really was, you know, we both wanted to be married someday, but it was, Nick and I are married and annoy each other. Oh, yeah, we annoy each other, too. But, what was I going to say? Sorry, my butt is all wet from the rain, so I can't concentrate. We all need to embrace our imperfect stories. Absolutely. That is so true. And we're thankful for each other, thankful for what God did. But you know what? It was just kind of this natural thing. We were friends.
No, she didn't pee her pants. It's from the rain.
Yeah. Did someone say that?
I thought I saw something about pee. I missed it.
Yeah, it might be. Later on in the pregnancy, who knows? Well, it's thundering some more, so we probably should go. But thanks for joining us for this special mountain edition of Stop Hammock Time. Starting tomorrow, I'll be scoping at 1:30 every weekday. Adam is still loving the rain. Absolutely.
I could sleep out here just like this.
I think I hear our kids on the balcony.
Yeah, they're screaming.
Anyways, but I'll be back at 1:30 tomorrow and kicking off my Right 31 Days series called The Restoration Project. Unwind through rest and prayer for 31 days. I am pregnant now.
Yeah.
It was a big surprise. I'm like 6.5 weeks. This is 4th pregnancy, 5th kid. We have one. Our 4th was adopted. So anyway, we're excited, and
let's meet up sometime.
Yeah, are you guys in Miami? Remind me of that, Christina.
Miami. We could rock Miami.
When do I start my daily scopes? I start them tomorrow at 1:30, Monday through Friday. I'm going to be doing the Restoration Project scopes, but Adam and I will still do our Wednesday evening Stop Hammock Time because we just can't stop. It's so fun. All right, well, thanks for joining with us. Hope you guys are having some sunny weather. You have a good evening. If you are married, squeeze your spouse's buns and give them a good kiss. And it's Eastern time zone. They're moving to Fort Lauderdale next week. Oh, that
nice area to live.
Yeah, very fun. Okay, well, everyone.
You guys should come up to Michigan, maybe January, February. That's good Michigan weather up there.
All right. Sorry it was so dark today, but thanks for sticking with us, and we will talk to you guys later.
Bye.